Good evening and welcome to Game 4 of the Triangular One-Day Tournament from New Zealand. I'm Steve Rebillard for ABC Sport, and tonight it's the crucial game between India and New Zealand. Well, this really is the contest to see who'll meet Australia in the final next weekend, and India must win to have a chance, having lost both their first two games. New Zealand thrashed India in Dunedin last Thursday, but then in turn were trounced by Australia in Christchurch on the weekend. So their confidence won't exactly be sky high. And India, well, they have nothing to lose. Let's get to the game then. It's being played at the Basin Reserve in Wellington, the venue for Thursday week's test. India are batting first, and your commentators are Grant Nesbitt and Henry Blofeld.
First ball, Hadlee. So Richard Hadlee has the bowling downwind. It's quite a stiffish northerly breeze. Prabhakar looking for the first run. He'll have it too. He'll probably have two, in fact, as Ken Rutherford does the chasing. And lobs a good return back to Ian Smith, but the first runs come to India in the second over and are scored by Prabhakar. Hit very fine by Prabhakar. This could be the first boundary. The outfield is quick, and Prabhakar, hitting it just wide of Ian Smith, has picked up 4 runs. Nicely clipped away, well wide of Smith, as you can see. And no sign of any New Zealand fieldsman there. Snedden just straying down the leg side. And so 6 runs already off this over. Rahman yet to score, and it'll be Martin Snedden to bowl the 4th over for New Zealand. And he'll be bowling to Prabhakar. Single call for Larson, very quick, and get it out.
I'm not sure about that. Did the ball hit the stumps? The ball was... I'd like very much to see that again, because the ball was loose after Smith had taken off the bails. I think he may have taken off his gloves, unless he knocked the ball on. Let's watch. You know, he threw the ball at the stumps, and it was all right.
Very clever piece of work by Ian Smith. It was awkward for him, but Rahman is out, and New Zealand have struck early. Manjrekar, the new batsman, facing Snedden. It says Raju on his back, but he's borrowed Raju's jersey once again, but it is Sanjay Manjrekar. Lofted and just over Andrew Jones from Prabhakar. Well, the field is in, of course, as it has to be in the first 15 overs, but Prabhakar really didn't get much on that and just got it over the head of Jones.
It's hit in the air, but it's over the top, away out through mid-wicket. That should go off to the boundary line. Good shot from Manoj Prabhakar as Steve Woodward signals 4.
Well, the Indians prepared to go over the top of the inner ring, as we've seen all tour on this occasion, just picking the ball up. Didn't hit it that well, but this outfield's very quick here at the Basin. Been dry in Wellington, as it has in most other places.
It's past Larson in the gully. Danny Morrison's the protection down at third man. Here comes his throw, but they're back for 2. So Manjrekar goes to 4. Martin Crowe does the fielding, shies at the stumps at the bowler's end. If he had hit, Prabhakar would have been out. But the throw a bit low for Martin Snedden to gather in cleanly.
Yes, Martin Crowe going for a direct hit. I wonder if he'd throw into Snedden, whether there would have been time for him to take the bails off. Well, it might have been interesting, mightn't it?
Nicely forced away this time by Manjrekar. Larson has the chase. Jones, though, will get there first. And 2 runs for Manjrekar. Just angling it, really, away down backward a point. Nicely cut away by Manjrekar. Thompson is the fieldsman. He's got a good throw. They won't try it. Look at that. That's a great throw. Magnificent piece of fielding from Shane Thompson. Prabhakar thrashing it away through the covers. That'll go to the fence. It was too wide from Thompson.
Well, let's make Thompson think a bit. His first ball had a wicket in Dunedin. His first ball in Wellington is thrashed through extra cover by Prabhakar, who really chases after anything that's tossed up to him. He wants to really get after it if it's thrown up.
And that's wide again from Morrison. Prabhakar manages to get it away down towards third man, but that's Thompson again. Look at this throw.
Oh, it's marvellous cricket.
That's a fabulous throw. Remember, he's throwing into the wind. And he's right on target again.
Good running here by the Indians. Kevin Larson in quickly from the offside, but he can't prevent a single, and these two pushing on. In fact, the 50 up for India. This is down on the leg side. It's gone fairly fine. Martin Snedden covers a lot of territory, but can't stop two.
What a marvellous piece of fielding there, because Martin Snedden is not what you might call in the first flush of youth. And I can think of many fielders of his age who would have let that go through. He's not the most athletic, natural mover anyway, but he got both hands to it, kept his eye on the ball, and saved 2 runs.
Oh, short, wide, cut by Manjrekar, 4 runs. Not a good delivery from Thompson. Manjrekar cashes in. Oh, this has gone fine. This will run away for 4. Expensive over, this one.
This is a much better over for India, isn't it? That lovely square cut and now a leg glance, and things really coming on. But when we get a chance in the next over, I'm still a little. I mean, obviously, I suppose the object in it all of giving these runs away in Canterbury, in Christchurch, was to try and bring the side batting up with a chance of victory, so they would then get themselves out.
Quite.
But doesn't that really, in a sense, deny all that's gone on the first few days of the match?
More runs here. Backward a point again. Ken Rutherford, the man after it. They've got 2. In fact, they'll come back for 3. So this really is proving a good over for India. Oh, it's in the air. He could be caught. He is. Martin Crowe, mid-off. Prabhakar looking to hit Danny Morrison over the top. Just spooned it up in the end. Martin Crowe, a straightforward catch at mid-off. So the second Indian wicket, and this is how it happened. Trying to hit it over the top, it hit it high on the bat. He didn't get any carry on it at all. Martin Crowe, straightforward catch. So Prabhakar, the opening batsman, gone for 36.
Did it stop on him a fraction, that, do you think? Or did he just play not a very good stroke? I just wondered if it...
Yes, the way he played it, one gets that impression, although it doesn't really look like it, does it, Henry?
Well, he seemed to check his stroke at the last... You know, and he hit it, obviously, the wrong place, the part of the bat. But he checked it, whereas if he'd gone right through with it, he might well have cleared the fielder.
The very experienced Dilip Van Saka makes his way to the crease. He's been disappointing this tour, Henry.
We had a glimpse of him the other day, didn't we, at Lancaster Park against Australia, when he and Azharuddin added 52 pretty good runs.
Seems to get his front foot a long way across to the offside and play round his pad, which seems to restrict him hitting the ball that solidly. I suppose, I mean, he's a very good player out of form, but he is getting on a bit, isn't he?
Yes, indeed. I mean, he's well into his 30s now. Exactly what you said. He's out. He's out. That was exactly what you said. Coming for playing right round the front pad, wasn't he?
Exactly. That front foot came across to the offside. He tried to play around for a straight delivery, and umpire Graham Cowan says that's out. So the third Indian wicket has fallen, and this is how it happened. Very full. Look at that front foot. Trying to hit it into the onside. It was straight, hitting, say, middle and leg. And umpire Cowan says that's out. Well, Henry, we've got Azharuddin 1 ball later than we thought we might have him.
Well, I wonder if Van Saka was wired to us for sound.
Oh, good shot. beautifully timed by Azharuddin. That just runs away. That's remarkable. Good shot.
Wonderful timing, wasn't it? Absolutely glorious. The stroke of the day to me. A marvellous stroke there. It really was Azharuddin at his best. A beautiful, natural timer of the ball. He just hit through the line, found the gap, and it was as though he sort of caressed it away. It really was lovely.
Azharuddin on 7, facing Morrison. It's past Greatbatch in the covers. The outfield is quick, but so is Gavin Larson. 2 for the Indian captain, takes him to 9. Crow tries at the stumps, but Azharuddin is home. It was Jeff Crow. Good, solid, direct hit. Crow moving quickly in from short cover, but Azharuddin very quick out of the blocks at the non-striker's end.
And he had to be quick, didn't he? No room for error there.
So Snedden has 5 men inside the circle, 4 out on the boundary. It's past Hadlee in the gully. Thompson can't get to it. It's down to the boundary for 4. Good shot. Snedden just giving Manjrekar a bit too much width there. A very nicely played cut shot. End of the over. Manjrekar 36, 92 for 3. I think Gavin Larson's run-up described the other day, Peter, as a firewalker's run-up, and I think that aptly sums it up, doesn't he? Tiptoes up to the wicket.
Yes, he's a wee tippy-toer, but he delivers well. He gets as high as he can and has a good control of his line and his length, and he really has come on very well during this series. He's coming in for his first international series.
To Crow at mid-wicket, he shies at the stumps, has a direct hit, he's out. Brilliant piece of fielding by the New Zealand captain. And Manjrekar is run out. Martin Crow with a sensational piece of fielding. Picked it up and then had to pivot about 45 degrees and then shy at the stumps at the bowler's ends. And Manjrekar, who went for the quick single, has run out.
Well, you see, he hit it too well to Crow. It was wide of him, but in brilliant fashion, Crow ran to his right, through to his left, and you can't even see Manjrekar in the picture, just see his bat. So if he'd hit it quieter, he'd have had more chance, because Crow would have had to have gone further to get it. Beautiful piece of fielding from Martin Crow, and look at a lovely position from Steve Woodward too. Look how quickly he got around there.
And back into the Indian batting lineup today, the 16-year-old Sachin Tendulkar, left out of the game against Australia on Saturday. And a testing time for him, the 28th over.
And he does have a run finally, Tendulkar, and he'll feel better for that as Martin Snedden does the fielding. Here's Gavin Larson now. Single called for, but no. Yes, they do go in the end. Hadlee missed fielding. Azharuddin went early, then went back, and in the end they got it quite safely. So the 100 comes up in the 32nd over. Forced nicely by Azharuddin. It's a long boundary out there, and they'll have time for 3, as Rutherford did the chasing. And it looked effortless from Azharuddin. He got 3 runs for it. It's nicely played by Azharuddin. That's beautifully timed, as Thompson went a bit wide that time, and Azharuddin puts it away to the fence for 4. And that's the total, 114 for 4 at the end of 33.
Yes, well, Richard Hadlee back into the attack, and he's had 5 very good overs at the beginning of the innings, conceding only 10 runs. There we are. So a difficult time for India to get this man away. Very experienced, knows where to put the ball.
Well, that's a good ball. Swinging Yorker, and they're both at one end. It's got to be a run out. And Azharuddin's gone. The youngster said nothing. Azharuddin said, let's go. And the captain keeps going. Run out.
Well, absolute tragedy for India. Azharuddin hits a very full-length delivery. In fact, it was Yorker length to mid-on, takes off for the single. Young Tendulkar just sat on his bat there, and they were both at the same end. I thought that Tendulkar might step out of his crease because it was more important that Azharuddin stay in. He didn't do so. So Azharuddin leaves the park and leaves Tendulkar to bat on.
Oh boy, there could be some words there later. Let's have a look at it.
Well, here we are. Very full-length delivery. Dug it out, as you see. Took off. Tendulkar came back again. Ken Rutherford, the man, down to Smith, all on his own, and it was the slow death.
So Tendulkar ruminating at the bowler's ends as Kapil Dev comes out. That's a major blow for New Zealand. Azharuddin was the man who could really have lifted that total.
Well, yes, I really feel that Tendulkar might be in for a tough time in the dressing room, because so vital for India's cause that Azharuddin stay in, and I think a sacrifice would have been appropriate there.
Gets a single this time, gets his first run. 14 overs left in the Indian innings. Hadlee to Tendulkar. Beautifully driven. That's a magnificent shot. 4 runs.
Yes, lovely shot from Tendulkar. That's the way to play it. Straight bat, straight down the ground. Right up to him, and he hit it straight back.
Richard Hadlee starting the 39th over. Tendulkar heaving away through mid-wicket. Great backs is chasing, but it's well struck. 4 runs. So Gavin Larson now to start his 9th over. Tendulkar slogging. It's in the air. Jones is racing around after it. And good fielding by Andrew Jones. Cuts it down to 2. Tendulkar really charging Larson. Here he comes again. Oh, that really was humming. That's 4. Just about drilled it straight through Gavin Larson.
That was a superb shot, really. That was the shot of a batsman who's been around for a heck of a long time and is prepared to come down the pitch, meet the medium pacer on the half volley and just thump it back past him. That would have been a miracle if Gavin Larson could have got a hand on it.
Tendulkar really charging now. Oh, he's lobbed this. That's a clever shot. He just held back and just lobbed it over Martin Crowe and short of Danny Morrison.
It was a clever shot as long as he didn't try and take 2 for it. You've always got the feeling that Tendulkar is just a little bit buoyed up by the occasion, and he's carrying on through emotion rather than from the cold realism of technique. But of course, he's an inexperienced player, a very good player.
Kapil Dev adding a bit of sanity to the batting, and that's a lovely shot. That's down to the fence for 4. So India really starting to prosper now in the 40th over.
This has been a very good over indeed for India, with 2 fours and 3 other runs taken from it. And Larson still with 2 balls to go. And remember that Larson has bowled very well. Kapil Dev just seen there that there was a chance to hit the ball into the biggest gap in the field. So it is a problem for Crowe now.
So it's the youngsters from the respective sides going against each other. 21-year-old Shane Thompson against 16-year-old Sachin Tendulkar. Big hit. Falling safely. And it's past Jones, away to the fence for 4 more. Indeed a top shot.
Well, if you're young and you're brave, you deserve to succeed. That was hit over the head of Martin Crowe, who's at fairly deep mid-on, and into the area which was totally unprotected. But really, Tendulkar is just blazing on his emotion now. He's a lovely player, but he's just going for them. And you can see Kapil Dev there having a word to him, just calming him down, keeping him cool.
Tendulkar's 36, facing Thompson. Charges again.
Or did he keep him cool?
A big edge. Ian Smith takes the catch. Graham Cowans didn't even bother to put his finger up. Tendulkar knew he'd got the edge. Straight through to Smith. And Tendulkar carried on. So Tendulkar is out for 36, 163 for 6. And in the end, the inexperience of Tendulkar costing India another wicket.
Well, a brave effort from him, but really he should have realised that there's still 9 overs and a couple of balls to go. And that was more like a 48 over rather than a 40 over slog.
Kieran Moray is the new batsman for India. So 2 experienced players and 2 hard-hitting players out there. So the danger isn't over for New Zealand yet. Thompson to Moray. And that's well run. Moray's been watching Dean Jones and David Boone play. Thompson to Kapil Dev. 3 balls left in the over. Past Hadlee at point. And it's 4. The Indian supporters love that. Short and a little wide from Thompson. Kapil Dev just chopping it down through backward point past Richard Hadlee. And that's a boundary. It's caught. It was a wide delivery. Moray paying the price for chasing one straight to Rutherford at point. Rutherford having replaced Richard Hadlee in that fielding position for this over. Straight to Ken Rutherford. Takes a comfortable catch at about head height. And Moray's out for a couple. 173 for 7.
Here's Thompson, though, bowling very wide. And Moray could almost be said to be a little bit unlucky that he chased it that wide. It probably should have been called wide, or would have been had he not gone for it. And good fortune for New Zealand and for Rutherford and Martin Crowe and Thompson.
Kapil Dev is 22. AJ Sharma's the new player, and he's out now to face Shane Thompson. It's past Jeff Crowe, and now they've taken off for the single. Hadley's throw comes to the bowler's end. The danger was down at the wicket-keeper's end, where Kapil Dev was running to. But it's a single for AJ Sharma. He's off the mark. 175 for 7. There's Kapil Dev on strike. Kapil Dev on 23. A lot of the responsibility for a competitive Indian score resting on the shoulders of the experienced Kapil Dev, as Mark Greatbatch's throw is big. Too big for Smith, and they get an extra run. Greatbatch not really realising that he was throwing downwind there, and that one really took off once he put it up there. It was too big for Smith. So it's 3 to Kapil Dev. He's 26. Snedden working away into it, bowling to AJ Sharma. Past Jeff Crowe. Larson has to do the fielding, gets to the ball quickly, gets his throw in the air, and there's only 2 runs. That rain, well, it's drizzle really, isn't it? It's quite thick at the moment, coming in on this brisk northerly. Snedden's going to continue, bowling to Kapil Dev. He hits high, wide and handsome, and out to the fence for 4.
Well, it looks like they might be going off. Yes, well, maybe you can't see with the glasses, but that's the first qualification for an umpire anyway, is not being able to see, isn't it?
So it's quite moist out there. The players are going off ahead of the umpire's discussion about it. So 45 overs and 3 balls have been bowled as they go off because of the rain. 45.5 overs gone. We've got 4.5 to go. 4 overs and 3 balls. The Indian run rate 4.32. Henry Blofeld has rejoined me. Henry, did you by any chance happen to hear of any announcement regarding a reduction in the number of overs in the innings?
My dear old thing, I wasn't. I was listening to you, but that will come up very shortly.
So it's Snedden now, bowling to Kapil Dev. Pulled away just over the top of Jeff Crowe, and it's raced off to the boundary for 4. Good bold hit from Kapil Dev. But I tell you what, Jeff Crowe wasn't far from pulling that one in.
My goodness me, that was a marvellous stroke there, wasn't it? He judged it, I mean, he hit it over Jeff Crowe, over by, I think, 3 feet. And Kapil really is hitting the ball in the way that he used to in his golden days. And it's rather exciting. We've seen some fine strokes. It wouldn't surprise me, Peter, with there was such a short absence, I wouldn't think they will actually knock down the overall number of overs. I think it was 5 minutes at most, wasn't it?
That's right. So the Indian 200 posted as Snedden bowls to Kapil Dev. Martin Crowe takes the sting off and deflects it, and they'll be able to run 2 as a consequence because the ball didn't go straight down to Ken Rutherford. Bit unfortunate that for New Zealand. Martin Crowe made a valiant effort to get there. Rutherford had to come in off the long off fence. Hadlee to Sharma. That's caught. Ian Smith takes the catch as Sharma tried to crash it away through the offside. And A.J. Sharma's innings comes to an end with his score at 12 and India 207 for 8 in the 47th over.
And Sharma walked, and umpire Khan just merely had to stick his finger up. I don't actually know, he bothered in the end. A very easy one. And of course that has almost made it almost certain that we'll only get one more over after this one now, because that was what the Indians didn't want to do, to lose that wicket. We got Watson coming out. He's not the worst player. He hit 50, didn't he, in that test match in Auckland. But I think the hands of the clock now are on 1:25. At half past, it's the cut-off point. So I think there'll be just the last ball of this over, and then probably just, I think the New Zealanders will make sure there's not time for more than one after that.
Big hit by
My goodness me, what a hit that was.
Into the crowd for 6, and that'll slow down proceedings. Morrison wants to get through this over in a hurry. It doesn't help when a ball has to be returned from the terraces.
My goodness, Peter, what a hit that was. I mean, not many players could have played that. It was a wonderful blow.
So it's 2:19 for 8, still 2 balls to go in the over. Kapil Dev goes again. Rutherford's lining it up. Oh, it was very nearly a catastrophe in the outfield, but Rutherford took the catch. Jeff Crow just about blocked his view as it came down. But well caught. Both the Indians are leaving the field as if the innings is over. No, Watson's now going to stay out there. Kapil Dev is out. 2:19 for 9 in the 48th over. The umpire's conferring about the time, but look at this again. And look at the near collision. That's Jeff Crow running back there. And Rutherford coming into the picture now. So Narendra Hirwani coming out at number 11 for India. There's 1 ball left in this over, which is Morrison's 9th. It's the 48th of the innings.
I suppose this is the sort of moment a batsman of Hirwani's doubtful pedigree might get an inside or even an outside edge. He looks a fairly unlikely figure, doesn't he?
Fine leg spin bowler, and gosh, he bowled well against Australia on Saturday, didn't he? Came in the
not hard.
14th over and got Taylor early. It's caught. Well, it will be lunch more or less on time after all. Hirwani goes first ball. Hadlee gets his 2nd wicket, and India are all out for 221. Hirwani caught by Martin Crowe from the bowling of Hadlee for naught. Full toss.
I suppose the only surprising thing, Peter, about that was he actually hit it with the middle of the bat.
Well, the innings flagged in the lower order, but a much better effort from India compared to their last game against the Kiwis last Thursday. Former skipper Kapil Dev top scored with 46. 3 of his teammates made 36. Prabhakar, Manjrekar and the 16-year-old Sachin Tendulkar, all out for 221 after 48.2 overs. Danny Morrison with 3 for 33 was the pick of the bowlers of his 9 overs. Hadlee picked up a couple, as did the youngster Shane Thompson. So 4.5 and over is the asking rate for the New Zealanders, and the Crowe brothers, Martin and Jeff, will open the innings as we go back to the Basin Reserve in Wellington with Grant Nesbitt and Peter Sharp.
There's the first run for New Zealand, taken by Martin Crowe, and he wants the second. Bit of hesitation as Jeff just hesitated at the striker's end to see whether Martin was coming back, and 2 runs to get underway. Oh, that's not a bad ball. It's going down to the fence. New Zealand get 4 runs rather fortuitously. Crowe got an outside edge. It seemed to pitch well short of the slip field and has gone for 4.
Yes, well, it was a lovely ball which swung away and seemed more off the pitch as Crowe assembled the defensive stroke, and the movement of the ball towards the